Flashback. On the wedding night, Jungkook wrapped a necklace around Wyan's neck. Jungkook, this is my love and protection for you. Never take it off. Wyan held the necklace as she admired it. He truly had an amazing choice. Love and protection? Did you do some black magic on it? He laughed and pulled her in between his legs as she snuggled up against his chest. Jungkook, look here. If you do this, he held the pendant and took her thumb, placing it over the jewel. It was her thumbprint which was capable of enabling whatever system was hidden inside of it. His cell phone rang and he grabbed it, showing it to her. Jungkook, it will send me a message that you are in danger. It will send me your location. Wyan, will I ever be in danger? Didn't you say I will have to take your guards with me while going out? Wyan, this world that you came in is completely different than the world you are living in. He turned her towards him, tucking her hair behind her ear. Wyan, so I just do this and wow. She chuckled when she did the same thing, and his cell started to ring again. Wyan, it's fun. I'm going to tease you a lot. End of flashback. Wyan, Jungkook will kill you. She panicked as she tried to open the car door. Marco laughed and started to unbuckle his seatbelt. It was within that panic state she remembered the necklace and pressed it. Marco, your husband, he will kill me? No, Peaches. If you don't listen to me well, I'll be the one to kill him. He got himself in the back seat and grabbed her wrist, pulling her near him. Marco, how about you stop crying and take it quietly? It won't take long. One thing Marco knew so well, that whatever nonsense he fed her, she will take it. There was one advantage Jungkook did to him marrying a girl from an ordinary world. One, I'll listen to you. Just don't do anything to him. She tried to buy time, hoping to distract him a little. It was enough to please Marco, as he threw her down in the seat and hovered above her. His hands wandered over her body, disgusting her with his every touch. But before it could proceed, there was a knock at the window. He looked up to find Jungkook standing there. The man looked calm, but if you looked closely, it was the red in his eyes, the veins popping out, trailing down his neck. His hands balled into fists, which Marco couldn't see but sensed so well. It was a destructive aura radiating out of him, as if the Grim Reaper was here to say his greetings. Marco got off her and proceeded to find his gun. He was thrown out of the car by Jungkook's men, who made sure to keep their eyes off Wyan. At that very moment, no soul would want to mess with the man who was ready to burn the world to its ashes. Jungkook calmly opened the door and brought Wyan out of it. He fixed her dress and held her trembling body within his arms. No matter how maddening his insides were, she only found protection in those arms. She cried and held her tightly, for as long as she needed him. Wyan, he said he will kill you. She cried she was scared but more of guilty for not informing him. Jungkook, I told you, Wyan, you must tell me everything. No one can kill me yet. Not these cockroaches at least. Why? I was so scared, Jungkook. If something happened to you. Jungkook, Why? Look at me. Don't do it again. I knew something was wrong with you. Nothing will ever happen to me. Or you. He wiped her cheeks, holding her securely in his arms. The heat radiating his body only provided her with more warmth she was in need of. She held his collar and kissed him. Still pretty shaken up, he kissed her back, his lips molding against hers softly, yet deeply. He made sure she knew whom she belonged to and who was allowed to hold her. It was after 10 more minutes of staying there beside her till she finally believed that she was safe and sound. He helped her in the car. Jungkook, give me a few minutes, baby. I'll be quick. Wine, don't take too long. She finally let go of his coat she was holding so tightly. Jungkook closed the car door, locking it, pointing the only guard he trusted that to a few meters away from the car. He went off to deal with Marco. With his own fists and daggers, he dealt with him till nothing remained of the other one. No one could ever even recognize Marco anymore, but Jungkook was not done. The look on Vian's face, the fear, and the trauma reflecting her eyes, the sight of him on top of her, scaring her with her husband's death, it was going to drive him insane with anger. The rest of his men stood there, watched and learned that they were never supposed to betray him. The only thing that pulled him away was the ring of his self, and he knew it was wine and her necklace again. He wiped himself off the blood, changed the shirt, and went back to her. The two went back to their home, and Jungkook picked her up in his arms, taking her to the room. He helped her wash up and back into his arms, all snuggled up in sheets. Jungkook played a funny movie of her choice, and it was successful in distracting her. Feeling safe in his arms, in his bed, watching a movie, it was everything she needed. Jungkook brushed his fingers through her hair. His eyes stared at her, trying to take in her content form, but he would never be able to forget those fearful eyes. She laughed at whatever scene was playing on the TV, and he tightened his embrace around her. Jungkook, what if one day you wake up and turn into a pervert old man too? Why? Don't know about me, but what if your future is like that? She gasped playfully, and he raised his brow, pinching her waist. Wine, hey! She hit his chest, and he started to tickle her, earning a loud set of laughter that acted like relief to his burning heart. He swore that moment he was never going to allow such move again. Kissing her head, the two continued to watch the movie and slept afterwards in each other's arms, content as ever.